What if I told you that time itself is not actually moving faster, but your experience of it is changing? Think about it. When you were a child, a summer vacation felt endless. Waiting for your birthday felt like forever. Waiting for a holiday felt almost impossible. Even a single afternoon spent playing with friends could feel like an entire adventure. But then, something begins to change. You grow older. You enter high school. You go to college. You start working. You settle into routines. And suddenly, years begin to pass at a speed that feels almost unbelievable. It feels like New Year's Day was just yesterday. Then somehow, the year is already over. It feels like you just graduated from school. Then suddenly, a decade has passed. Many adults find themselves saying the same thing. It feels like it was just yesterday. Even though the event happened 5, 10, or even 20 years ago. But why? Why does time seem to move so slowly when we're young? And so quickly when we're older? Is time actually changing? Is the world moving faster? Or is something happening inside the human mind? Tonight, we are exploring one of the most fascinating mysteries of human psychology, a mystery involving memory, attention, neuroscience, perception, and the way our brains construct reality. This is the story of why time feels faster as we grow older. Let's begin with a surprising fact. The clock never changes. A minute is still 60 seconds. An hour is still 60 minutes. A year is still 365 days. From a physical perspective, time moves at the same pace. But human beings do not experience time the way clocks do. The brain does not measure time directly. The brain measures experiences, and that changes everything. Imagine a child who is 5 years old. For that child, 1 year represents 20% of their entire life. That's a huge amount of experience. Now imagine someone who is 50 years old. 1 year represents only 2% of their life. Proportionally, that year feels much smaller. Some researchers believe this is one reason time appears to accelerate as we age. Each year becomes a smaller fraction of our total life experience. But that is only part of the answer. Because there is another reason, and it may be even more important. Novelty. New experiences. When we are children, almost everything is new. The first day of school, a new friend, a new game, a new movie, a new place, a new experience. Even the world itself feels new. And the brain loves novelty. When something is new, the brain pays closer attention. It processes more information. It forms more memories. It records more details. As a result, those periods of life often feel longer when we look back on them. Now, compare that to adulthood. Many adults wake up, go to work, return home, eat dinner, go to sleep, and repeat. Day after day, week after week, month after month. Routines are efficient. But they come with an interesting side effect. The brain stops paying full attention because everything feels familiar. And when attention decreases, fewer memories are created. As a result, that period of life can feel surprisingly short in hindsight. Imagine driving the same route every day. After a few months, you barely remember most of those drives. The brain has labeled them as familiar, unimportant, predictable. Now imagine traveling to a country you've never visited before. Every street feels interesting. Every building captures your attention. Every experience feels unique. Your brain records far more information. And when you look back, even a few days can feel incredibly rich and long. This reveals one of the greatest paradoxes of time. When we are experiencing something exciting and new, time often seems to pass quickly. But later, those memories make the period feel longer. Meanwhile, routine experiences may feel normal in the moment, but when we look back, they seem to disappear. This is one reason childhood often feels so long in memory. Childhood is filled with first experiences. The first bike ride, the first day of school, the first best friend, the first vacation, the first achievement, the first disappointment, the first discovery. Every first time creates a powerful memory marker. As adults, those first times become less common. Life becomes more predictable, and predictability changes how we experience time. There is another important factor. Children tend to live in the present moment. They focus intensely on what is happening right now, playing, exploring, learning, imagining, being curious. Adults often do something different. Their minds frequently travel elsewhere, to tomorrow, to next week, to unfinished tasks, to financial concerns, to responsibilities, to future plans, to worries. And when attention is divided, the present moment becomes less vivid. This matters because attention is one of the primary ingredients of time perception. The more attention we give to an experience, the richer it becomes. The richer it becomes, the more memorable it is. And the more memorable it is, the longer it feels when we look back. Now, let's talk about memory, because memory may be the most important piece of this entire puzzle. Most people think they experience time directly, but often what we call the passage of time is actually the accumulation of memories. The brain estimates time partly by examining how much information was stored. Many memories, the period feels long. Few memories, the period feels short. Imagine 2 different weeks. During the first week, you travel somewhere new, meet new people, learn new things, try new activities, experience unfamiliar situations. During the second week, you follow the exact same routine every day. When you look back, the first week almost always feels longer. Not because more time passed, but because more memories were created. In a sense, your memories become the brain's evidence that time existed. And when there is less evidence, the period feels compressed. This may explain why so many adults feel shocked by the speed of life. They look back and think, where did the last 5 years go? Yet, if they examine those years carefully, countless events occurred, countless conversations, countless experiences, countless moments. The years did not disappear. The brain simply recorded them differently. Interestingly, research suggests that introducing novelty into life can slow down the subjective experience of time. Learning a new skill, traveling somewhere unfamiliar, meeting new people, taking a different route home, trying a new hobby, breaking routines. All of these experiences encourage the brain to pay attention again, to create more memories, to become more engaged with the present. And when that happens, life often feels richer, longer, more vivid. Perhaps that is why vacations feel different, why adventures feel memorable, why some years become unforgettable. Because during those moments, we stop operating on autopilot. We begin noticing the world again, almost the way we did when we were children. But perhaps there is an even deeper lesson hidden inside all of this. Maybe time is not speeding up.
Maybe we are simply paying less attention. Maybe we are experiencing fewer new things. Maybe we are spending less time fully present in our own lives. Because in the end, life is not measured only in years. Life is measured in moments. And the quality of those moments depends largely on how deeply we experience them. So the next time you find yourself wondering, why is time moving so fast? Remember this: the world may not be accelerating. The clock may not be moving faster. Time itself may be exactly the same as it has always been. What changes is the way your mind experiences it. And perhaps one of the best ways to make life feel longer is not to add more years to your life, but to add more life to your years. Because in the end, time is not simply something we possess. It is something we experience. And how we experience it depends greatly on how we choose to live. Maybe that is why childhood feels so long when we remember it. Not because time moved more slowly, but because back then, we were fully present to experience it.